a very warm welcome once again to Bible Prophecies Revealed. Today, here in Bible Prophecies Revealed, we will take a much deeper and more comprehensive look at certain prophecies of the Bible that are frequently overlooked or significantly underestimated by many today. And those prophecies that are often overlooked or not given much importance, we're going to explore those specific ones in our study today. We'll gain a deeper understanding of how those Bible prophecies, now that they've entered the process of being fulfilled, are manifesting and coming true in our world today. This is clear and direct proof of that undeniable fact. It's direct evidence that we are living our lives in the final days of the end times. So, we'll begin our program for today with a prophecy from Revelation chapter 16. In the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 12, the Apostle John recorded a significant prophecy nearly 2000 years ago. Within those sacred verses, he specifically mentioned something very important regarding the kings of the East. It is clearly written right here in Revelation chapter 16, providing us with deep spiritual insight. And in its 12th verse, it says, "And the sixth angel poured out his bowl on the great river Euphrates, and its water was dried up, so that the way for the kings from the east might be prepared." Here, the Apostle John has clearly prophesied about these kings of the east for the coming end times. The kings of the east shall arrive from the east for the great battle of Armageddon. Their exact number is also mentioned in the book of Revelation, stating that the army of the kings of the east will be approximately 20 crore strong soldiers advancing. This has been clearly stated in the scriptures. You must understand that whenever geographical directions are classified within the context of Bible prophecies, they are always given with Jerusalem as the central point of reference. So, when the Apostle John wrote in the scriptures that a way should be prepared for the kings of the east, he was specifically talking about the nations located directly to the east of Jerusalem. And as we know, many significant countries lie to the east of Jerusalem in that region. For instance, Iraq is situated to the east of Jerusalem, and so are other nations like Iran, Afghanistan, and even further towards the lands of India and China. Iran, Pakistan, Afghanistan, India, China, and Korea comes. And this is how they gather together. All of these incredibly powerful and influential Asian nations lie directly to the east of Jerusalem. But when John specifically stated the total count of the Eastern King's armies as 200 million, which is 20 crore, in the book of Revelation, the vast majority of dedicated Bible prophecy scholars and researchers have always completely overlooked and ignored a significant country in the East called India, have been underestimating. Whereas, as of today, without India, this prophecy regarding the count of the armies of the kings of the East, which is a total of 20 crore, this count simply cannot be completed without India. That is, this significant biblical prophecy of the book of Revelation is simply cannot be fulfilled without India's active involvement. How can it possibly not be fulfilled? India lies directly, quite directly, to the east of Jerusalem. India has now officially become the most populous country in the entire world, the nation with the absolute highest population on earth. If we talk about land mass, India is considered the seventh largest country in the world. That is, it is. And regarding active duty personnel, if we talk about the military, the active duty personnel in India are 15 lakh. That is, 15 lakh ground troops are present in India, and along with that, the Agniveer scheme that has been launched. As the years pass with the Agniveer scheme, the number of reserve soldiers in India will also continue to increase significantly over time, steadily and rapidly growing. The reserve soldiers may have reached several lakhs. That means by the time the Battle of Armageddon takes place, it is possible that India may already have crores of former Agniveers present in the country, who could become part of that army and gather in the valley of Megiddo in Israel for the Battle of Armageddon. So, without India's involvement, this prophecy cannot be fulfilled at all. And the powerful countries of the world, like India, China, and over there, North Korea. Along with that, Pakistan, a nuclear armed nation, can also be included. We may include Afghanistan because when such a large army advances, Afghanistan could be part of it. However, Afghanistan is not considered a major military power. But if we talk about involvement with the army, we can consider it. And after that, the country of Iran, which also lies to the east of Israel, then the combined army of all these countries, when it reaches Israel from the east, its number was stated by John as 20 crore. And India, the world's most populous country. At number two, the world's most populous country is China. And in these two countries alone, there are so many reserve soldiers and active duty personnel that only by combining them can the 20 crore figure be completed. So, without India's involvement, this prophecy cannot be fulfilled. And today, the Agniveer scheme that the Indian government has launched is a very important scheme in terms of fulfilling a biblical prophecy because the reserve soldiers in India will reach into the lakhs and crores in a few years, which in itself will prove to be a major prophetic milestone in terms of the biblical prophecy in the future. But we need to pay attention to one more point. As John describes, these kings of the east will go there to fight the battle of Armageddon. But when they move, such a massive army of 200 million cannot simply be airlifted to that location. Their military equipment and supplies also cannot be transported there instantly by air. It is practically impossible unless they travel by road or other land routes. By rail, their equipment and the entire army cannot be easily transported there in a short time. You'll be surprised to know that the rail route and that road have already been prepared by China. In 2012, China announced a project called the One Belt, One Road Initiative, also known as the New Silk Road. And under this ambitious global project, first China began connecting nations through infrastructure and built a road up to Pakistan and Afghanistan, which we know as the Karakoram Highway. But now, by spending many trillions of dollars, China has built a road that, starting from China, goes through Pakistan occupied Kashmir, through Pakistan, through Afghanistan, through Iran, and reaches the Euphrates River. That road and the rail route have also been built by China. And that rail route has become operational from 2025. That is, in 2025, from China to Iran, the rail connectivity has already begun. A railway route has also been prepared so that if any conflict or war breaks out in the Middle East, the Chinese military can be deployed quickly and efficiently through the rail route with immediate effect and rapid mobilization. Has established its dominance in the Middle East. So this rail route and this road have been prepared today. But the biggest problem facing China is that China has to take this road through Syria and through Syria to Turkey. But the Euphrates River is coming in between. That is, this road and this railroad are currently delayed in their work because of the Euphrates River. And it is written there. John has said this, that when the armies of the kings of the east come from the east, the Euphrates River will be dried up. So, how will it be dried up? Turkey has built a very large dam in the world over the Euphrates River, which is called the Ataturk Dam. And once the gates of that dam are closed, the entire Euphrates River dries up within a few minutes in certain sections downstream. As you can clearly see in these pictures here, exactly how it was when Turkey had completely closed off the gates of its dam built over the Euphrates River, then how the entire Euphrates River in Iraq had totally dried up and vanished. So, this prophecy, which we often completely overlook and ignore while reading, today work is being done on the fulfillment of this prophecy as well. In the East, India has now become the most populous country, meaning this prophecy cannot be fulfilled without India. China has prepared that route, that railway line which goes to Iran. And after Iran, the biggest obstacle will be the Euphrates River. The task of removing that obstacle, Turkey has already done. So we are seeing that we are now reaching the final climax of the end times. Bible prophecies are being fulfilled, meaning the time of the second coming of Jesus Christ is getting closer and closer every single day. After that, in the Bible, the 13th chapter of Revelation, in that 13th chapter, it is mentioned that in the end times, a mark of the beast will come. The mark of the beast. And it is also mentioned that no one will be able to buy or sell. World trade will start running only through numbers. And today we see that for the first time in human history, trade across the whole world has started running through digits and digital transactions everywhere. Numbers are being used everywhere today. If you use Google Pay, UPI, Phone Pay, or any other mobile app to transfer money, you have to enter your PIN and the money gets transferred. In other words, you're carrying out transactions through numbers, and your financial activities are increasingly being conducted digitally. An IFSC code that you use in the bank consists of digits, your account number, and along with that, your identity has also become through digits. Whether it is Aadhaar card, PAN card, or driving license, everything has started running through digits. And now, the era of artificial intelligence has also finally arrived, which has now created a completely new path in fulfilling the very profound visions that John once wrote about, and it has made the way much easier than before. Along with this, you will also be quite surprised to know that the original founding fathers of AI have explicitly stated that the advanced AI systems coming in the near future, they are addressing it as the Antichrist system. So, this is for us a very serious matter that the AI system is being called the Antichrist system by the founding fathers of AI. They are called the founding fathers because the founding fathers of AI point out that just as described in Revelation chapter 13, the Antichrist will control people in such a way that they will neither be able to buy nor sell without his permission. This will be determined by the advanced artificial intelligence systems in the near future, which means that because of this, an extensive surveillance and a comprehensive system for monitoring people is being created by AI. And that is exactly why that specific system is being called the Antichrist system by the original founding fathers of AI. On the other hand, the European Union has already developed such servers and infrastructure that can collect and store the data of billions of people around the world. This entire system has been designed to manage and process vast amounts of information on a global scale. Today, the European Union has named that entire system the Beast, which signifies that the entire system has now been fully installed in Luxembourg. That entire server has been installed, in which all various kinds of data of people from all over the world can now be securely stored. In other words, when Revelation speaks about the beast, some interpret it as referring to a global system. According to this view, a large scale data system has already been developed, and at the same time, some AI pioneers have referred to future advanced AI systems as a potential means of control. And along with this, one more thing we need to understand, which is mentioned in the book of Revelation about the mark of the beast, that the mark of the beast will be applied. The mark of 666 will be applied. So there used to be an early church leader named Ephraim the Syrian. And Ephraim the Syrian, in his time, when he wrote a book on the prophecies of the Bible, then Ephraim the Syrian, regarding the mark of 666, that is the mark of the beast itself, wrote for it that the mark of the beast is nothing else but it will be a serpentine sign, meaning it will be the sign of a snake. That is, early church father Ephraim the Syrian said that 666 would be the mark of the snake. And how would it be the mark of the snake? If we talk about our times today without exaggerating too much, if we look closely, we can see that on the official WHO emblem, you can clearly find the distinctive mark of the snake. And when the global coronavirus pandemic began to spread rapidly, it was being said over and over again. This specific idea was being constantly emphasized that any individuals who chose not to receive the WHO approved vaccine would be at risk. They will no longer be able to buy anything from any place at all, nor sell anything, nor operate their own business establishments, nor can anyone buy anything from their shop. So we feel that the mark of the beast has a very significant and direct connection with AI combined with the World Health Organization vaccine that will come in the near future. We don't know for sure what's going to happen, but we can only speculate and wonder about it for the time being. Just as Saint Ephraim the Syrian mentioned in the early years of the church that the mark of the beast would be the physical sign of a slithering serpent. So, now that artificial intelligence has fully entered our modern world and is steadily leading us forward into the future, just as it is written in the book of Revelation, if any person chooses to worship God, they will be beheaded or persecuted, and they will be identified and apprehended and be thrown into prison. Such a system would be impossible without AI technology, because today technologies are being developed that can track people even when they are simply speaking. Your mobile phone, your TV, and even your car, they are all constantly eavesdropping on exactly what you say through AI. And those who control this AI possess complete knowledge of your life. They know exactly what private and intimate personal conversations you're having every single day. Sometimes, when my wife and I are driving in our car, which is equipped with smart artificial intelligence, and we are just having a private conversation together, if we ever happen to mention a specific location, the integrated AI in the car suddenly chimes in to inform us, saying that particular location is exactly how many kilometers away from us. And it immediately starts to opens the map on the digital screen. This clearly means that AI is listening even to our most private personal conversations. We are now moving into the very era described in the 13th chapter of the book of Revelation. So these Bible prophecies are very rapidly being unfolding right now. And the time has come for us to transform our very lives just as quickly so that we are fully prepared or ready for the coming of Jesus Christ or the church being taken up in the clouds, so that we too may be caught up in the clouds along with the rapture of the church. As we continue moving forward in our study, in the book of Revelation, in chapter 17 and Revelation chapter 18, a significant prophecy is also given to us. Babylon is mentioned there, and it clearly says that Babylon has fallen or that Babylon is fallen. Such specific phrases are used in those passages. But a significant and noteworthy point is mentioned about this Babylon. From the earliest times in history until now, it has been believed that the Babylon mentioned in Revelation chapter 17 is none other than the historical city of Rome, which is traditionally considered the city of seven hills. But the surprising thing is that Jerusalem is also called the city of seven hills. Even more surprising is that Mumbai is also called the city of seven hills. So there are many such cities in the world called the city of seven hills. So specifically calling Rome the city of seven hills doesn't seem right to us. And this common thought that Rome is that famous city of seven hills, well, due to not understanding these Bible prophecies correctly, many prophecy scholars often make mistakes because the seven heads that are clearly described as seven mountains and seven kings, John has provided us with a different interpretation for them. They are not literal mountains but are referred to as symbolic representations in Revelation itself. But if we take the position that Rome is this city of seven hills called Babylon, that it is truly and undeniably Rome, then an extremely serious and significant problem arises before us. Why is that? Because Rome does not seem to match or align with the location given for that city in any way whatsoever. And what specific location is given? In Revelation chapter 17, verse 3, the Apostle John says, "Then he carried me away in the Spirit into the wilderness," that is, the wilderness. "And I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast that was covered with blasphemous names and had 7 heads and 10 horns." Where was the city shown to John? It was shown in the wilderness, in a desolate desert. That city was shown. Now, if we take a moment to talk about the city of Rome, Rome is situated right in the heart of Italy, which is famously known as a very fertile land. Extensive agriculture happens all across there, and honestly, you simply can't call that lush land a wilderness or a dry desert from any possible angle. So it becomes quite clear and evident here that the specific city being talked about in this context, which is called Babylon, which is being cursed to fall, it is said of that city that it is found in the wilderness. On the other hand, in the prophecy given by Isaiah in chapter 21, he specifically mentions the location of where that Babylon, spoken of in Revelation, is situated. In the first verse of chapter 21, John prophesies about Arabia, Saudi Arabia, and what does he say there? What is written in the first verse of chapter 21? A heavy word concerning the desert by the sea. If you read the old version of the Bible or read it in the original Hebrew, it says there, the burden of the desert of the sea. So it's written there about Arabia, which is being talked about here, meaning Saudi Arabia is being discussed here. As whirlwinds in the south pass through, so it cometh from the desert, from a terrible land. This is the first verse of the 21st chapter. And in Isaiah 21:9 it is written, "And behold, here cometh a chariot of men with a couple of horsemen." And then he answered and spoke these words, "It is fallen, Babylon is fallen, and all the graven images of her gods he has completely shattered and broken unto the ground." This essentially means that by making the desert of Saudi Arabia a specific location here, Isaiah spoke for Saudi Arabia, for that vast and arid desert of Saudi Arabia. Babylon is fallen, is fallen. These are the exact same words that we find in Revelation chapter 17, Revelation chapter 18. So here, this description that the city is in the wilderness, that city is in the jungle, in the desert, that description aligns perfectly with what we see here. And a very significant wilderness area is found right there in Saudi Arabia. And every one of the goods and commodities mentioned in Revelation chapter 18, the extensive list of goods that merchants sell to that city there, all those goods are also bought in massive quantities by America. But it is clearly written there that the souls of men, the precious souls of men, are also being traded and sold within the heart of that city. All these goods are also bought by Saudi Arabia. America buys from the whole world, but Saudi Arabia also purchases them. Souls of men refers to the buying of slaves, and this practice in Saudi Arabia has been a prevalent tradition since ancient times that Saudi Arabia has historically practiced. Slaves were regularly bought and sold as commodities in Arabia. So the description matches these historical accounts quite closely. Although we cannot reach a definitive conclusion immediately, we are just speculating how the Bible's prophecy might be fulfilled. But it might actually surprise you quite a bit to know that as it is written, there exists a specific city that ruled over everyone. And there is a city through which all the merchants of the world became rich. That city has started being built by the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman. And where has it started exactly today? Stretching from the shores of the Red Sea, an incredibly long and futuristic city which is expected to span over 10,200 square miles, known as the Line, is currently being constructed in the shape of a line. And This city is so incredibly high tech and advanced. It's a smart city that will be fully operated by AI, featuring the most sophisticated, cutting edge technology available. A city like one you might vividly imagine in your mind, a fictional city, is being created there. Additionally, it will feature high speed bullet trains, drone taxis, and international airports. Moreover, no cars or traditional two wheelers will operate within the city. Everything will be managed by advanced drones. So, a futuristic high tech city is rapidly being developed, and within that city itself, Saudi Arabia has poured in massive investments into this city, and businessmen from every corner of the world are also investing, looking to earn significant profits. By the year 2039, the entire city will be fully completed and operational, and the name of this futuristic city has been kept as NEOM. NEOM, NEOM. NEOM signifies N for new and M for Mustaqbal, which means future, essentially, new future. That is the name that has been given to this ambitious futuristic city project. And starting from the year 2026, several beautiful areas of the city will be open to tourists. If everything goes well and God is willing, I will personally visit the city, capture amazing footage there in 2026, and try my best to show it all to you. So it is possible for us to go there. That the Babylon mentioned in the 17th and 18th chapters of the book of Revelation is currently being constructed and developed in the wilderness today. It is highly possible that this massive neon city, which is being developed by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, could very well be the actual location, the exact same city that John saw, and it was the eventual fall of this city that John spoke of. Moving forward, in the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 27, we find it clearly mentioned that when the Antichrist finally arrives on the world scene, he will successfully negotiate and establish a firm covenant with many for 7 years, meaning a formal and binding peace treaty. Bible prophecy scholars believe that he will establish a peace agreement specifically between Israel and the surrounding countries of the Middle East region for a period of 7 years, bringing peace to the entire Middle East region. Recently, Donald Trump, and I'm not saying Donald Trump is the Antichrist, but I am saying that this very specific prophecy has finally entered the process of fulfillment. It has already begun. Now you might be wondering, how exactly is this happening? Under the historic peace treaty known as the Abraham Accords, Donald Trump is working to facilitate a peace agreement between Israel and various Middle Eastern countries. Bahrain, the UAE, Morocco, and several other nations in the region are involved, are now gradually coming forward to join this accord. So far, not all Middle Eastern countries have joined, but they are steadily moving towards that direction. There is a strong possibility to consider that the peace treaty hinted at in Daniel 9:27 is indeed the Abraham Accords, where every single nation in the region might eventually join, initially on an experimental basis for 7 years. Because until Saudi Arabia finally joins, this historic Abraham Accord agreement will not hold much significance. So we can clearly see that this peace agreement has now started to take effect across the region. And it's quite possible that in future, as long as Donald Trump remains president, Pakistan might also officially grant diplomatic recognition to Israel because of this. Donald Trump has also exerted a considerable amount of diplomatic pressure on Pakistan to recognize Israel. So it is our strong belief that in this established peace treaty, Donald Trump, or perhaps the future Antichrist, might seek to incorporate both Afghanistan and Pakistan as well. So we are steadily moving toward the final stage of time. We are drawing closer and closer, and Bible prophecies are unfolding. Now, I am not saying that Bible prophecies will be fulfilled exactly in this way, but Bible prophecies have entered the process of fulfillment, and one day or another, they will surely be fulfilled according to God's sovereign plan and perfect timing.